Morning, it's Harvey Jackson. Just going to go through some Saskatchewan, Alberta crop reports. They're a little bit dated, but of course, just to get some idea of, can we get just-in-time rains and have an above-average crop, uh, and those scattered showers if they're going to actually continue to add and keep this crop alive. So you can see here, this is the basically the weather and the crop uh, condition ratings as of July 8th, which was not that long ago, but it still got posted on the 11th, so the end of last week. Um, look pretty good. And then when you look at this here, you've got your soil surface maps, in pretty good shape in a lot of ways. And in Alberta or the Saskatchewan, I had shown this as well last week, and there were some deficits of moisture, of course. But when you look overall, cumulative rainfall for the whole year, it's not all that bad. But there's definite drought in this area. There's drought in the north, and we're going to maybe show why that's significant. I showed this before too, just what crop stage the spring cereals are at. A lot of heading is already done. We'll be moving on to dough and ripening very quickly if we continue to squeeze the moisture here. Uh, the canola, a lot of flowering happening and moving into potting very quickly as well with the heat. So you'll see a big jump this next report. Um, U.S. imposes a 17% tariff on Mexican tomatoes. Two-thirds of all the tomatoes in the U.S. is actually Mexican tomato. Uh, the longer it takes for Trump to get things done, the more it's going to cost his people. I just don't see how this is going to work out, other than uh, it's going to bring production back into his own country for sure. But the longer it takes to get these deals done, so the longer and the more pain it's going to. Yeah, he's just taking too long. I guess that's the crux of it all. EU pushing back as well. They're going to put some tariffs on if they can't get a deal here soon. So I left the tariff stuff to the end here. NBDI Corn Belt. You can see that you're teetering on the highest NBDI or growing conditions uh, since 2002, 2001. So, and I'm yet to try to get this figured out on the NBDI. I'm going to have to for our own crops here, but corn and soybeans are definitely well off on their way. Watching for storms in this area because the uh, soil conditions are fairly wet over there in the areas kind of circled, and excess moisture could start causing some problems, but we'll have to just keep our eye on that. This is current radar. You can see that we're getting the rain in Manitoba at the moment. It's well needed, but might not be far enough north. And you can see here, this actually goes uh, for next day or so. So it's ahead, trying to predict. And you can see that there's some storms going across there. This is just a snapshot of the last, or for the next week. Not a whole lot of moisture in the prairies really to speak of, and you can see that with the AFS. This one actually goes up 2 weeks, so it starts adding a little bit of moisture, but that's not that significant. Same thing with the GFS. It adds some moisture, but there's big holes in the prairies, and if you look at where's the majority of the production grown, it's farther north. This is the intensity of storms, and you can see some of these yellow areas as it rolls across, so a little bit more intense. Uh, Now, will it add up? It's hard to say. Smoke, um, it constantly it's wrapping around, and there's some bigger fires over northeast Winnipeg, and then there's these uh, in north North Saskatchewan that's actually adding a lot of smoke into the area. Here's accumulated moisture for the last 7 days, not including the last couple. So you can see there's traces amount, but then you got some thunderstorms that added a fair bit of moisture in some areas. Here's the accumulated moisture, and you would say, okay, what's the big deal about the north part of Edmonton? I call it the Yellowhead Corridor kind of thing. So this area here. Well, you look at where the good part of the production is for both corn and or for both canola and spring wheat. It's a big deal. Just have a look at the markets. The markets are up a little bit on the canola and rapeseed, and down on just about everything else. So here's your canola, it's slightly up. It's not a big move up today. There's no major news, no big reports coming out. I think there is a um, NOPA report coming out later today or at 11 o'clock, I think, which is your North American oil producers. Um, so I'm just looking for some support here. Same thing with the European rapeseed. It, it's not making lower lows anymore. Soybean oil, definitely into a pendant kind of a flag formation here. So love to see this distance go back up here. I would say uh, with that formation. Soybean futures have been leaking lower, and then when you look at soybean meal, and I probably didn't draw this correctly, but we're going all the way back to 2016 since the last time we've seen meal prices this cheap. Crude oil, Canadian dollar kind of going sideways. I'm looking at some of the guys' brokerage accounts with a deficit in the uh, U.S. dollar side and looking at maybe exiting and or converting some of the U.S. dollar deficits when we get back to 74 cents or better. Let's have a look at wheat. A couple of red days there, slightly positive when I took the screenshot, and a lot of it's because of this wheat that we're getting from the Kansas City and the Chicago harvest. It's a big crop, and it seems to be getting bigger, not smaller. Corn futures following some of the other cereal, and nothing seems to be taking the foot off the back of the neck of this one. Live cattle futures. Here we can talk about some positivity. The live cattle are just continuing to make higher highs. Same thing with the feeder cattle, but the hogs have fallen off. Like I said, the 15th here is the NOPA, National Oil Producers Association. Should be coming out with some sort of report. Hopefully that's a positive report for the market, the canola market.